Hello, Cinnabar Nick here with another BB23 stream. Um, just I just had my camera off, so the lighting won't look this orange the whole time. Just gotta give it a moment to readjust. And also, I'm waiting a moment to see if anybody shows up. That would be awesome. Oh wow, I already have two viewers. That was fast. Hello. Uh, so let's just uh, let's just get into it because just in the last 36 hours, and I did my last stream about BB23 about 36 hours ago. Um, a lot has happened. And it's been more insanity, but unlike when Frenchie was HOH, this insanity has actually been kind of awesome and satisfying. I took a lot of notes on this because I wanted to get everything. But when I did my stream on Friday afternoon, I was about to say yesterday, but it's now technically Sunday where I am. It's 12:29 a.m. Eastern Time. Um, when I did my last live stream, the feeds had gone down for the wildcard competition, and it was heavily implied at that point that Frenchie was going to be in it, but it was still unclear who the other two would be. So then, feeds come back, and Frenchie was in it, but he did not win. Sarah Beth won the wild card. And I was in shock because not only did she beat Frenchie, who has been trying to make sure he's not the next one out the door after what a mess he made last week, but she also beat Brent, who's this guy that they've been looking at as some big comp beast, even though he has 0 wins to his name so far. When I heard Sarah Beth beat these two, I was so proud of her. Because I predicted preseason that she was uh, she was going to be the big surprise, and already she's proven me right, and I love it. I absolutely love it, and I'm so happy for her. But the thing about the wildcard competition, and that it had to be played on Friday this time as opposed to week one where it was played on Thursday. Everyone moved in Wednesday, wildcard Thursday, and then the noms were Friday as normal. Now I was wondering even if the noms were going to be on Friday or if they were going to push everything back a day. But nope, they just did it a little later in the day. But apparently, Kylan did not have a lot of time to make his decisions after the wildcard competition. Like, not as much time as he normally would. So he wanted to do interviews with everybody, and this was where it really got juicy. And this is where I took notes. I took notes of what everybody said to him. Like I read the BB updates page on Twitter, Big Brother Daily, and Kylan got all the information, and I loved it. So he talks to Sarah Beth first, and apparently Frenchie very quickly outed the slaughterhouse to her after she won, or perhaps it was even before she won, and he told her then. But yeah, he gave it up seemingly without much hesitation. And I mean, she knew about it because Kyland and her have been telling each other everything about all their various alliances, try and share information to help each other out. But now Frenchie telling her, like, that's kind of a big deal, you know. And so yeah, that was what Sarah Beth said to him, that he confirmed that Frenchie confirmed Slaughterhouse to her, and right away it becomes apparent that this dude is spiraling. Like after she won, he just went into an absolute tailspin. Like he is not doing well right now, and that makes me happy because he's just made such a mess. So the next one that Kylan talks to is Whitney, and she tells him that Frenchie declared to her that he's out. And he said this around a couple other people, and it looked like he was saying it mostly to her. And she was just kind of like, where do the rest of us in the slaughterhouse stand? And Kylan said he fully trusts everybody else in the slaughterhouse except for Derek F. He does not fully trust him. And I'm proud of him for saying that because Derek F has been playing kind of a shady game so far. And it it is nice that it may be falling apart on him sooner rather than later. Like, I don't know if he'll get to be like a full JC BB20 where he can just get away with it all the time. No, I think Derek F is in a little more precarious of a situation, especially with Kyland saying that besides Frenchie, Derek F is the only one he doesn't fully trust. Like, I don't think he trusts Frenchie at all. I think he trusts Derek F just like a little. So the next one that Kylan talks to is Alyssa, and she backs up Whitney's story that Frenchie said, "I'm done," and he said this to the slaughterhouse and about the slaughterhouse. And uh, listen, I was going pretty hard on Alyssa for a while. I was saying like she's clearly just gonna latch to Frenchie until the end, and then when she's no longer of use to him, he's gonna cut her loose like nothing. Um, it doesn't seem as though that's going to be the case now, because she told Kylan that she thinks Frenchie is a problem, and he is. He's just been all over the place since he got here, and it's amazing watching it fall apart on. Hold on, let me just do it real quick in my head. That would be the day 10 that this is happening. Day 10, and he is already just losing his mind, and everything is crumbling on him, and it's just it's fantastic. My drink of choice is milk, by the way. If you watch my channels regularly, you know that at night I drink milk. So yeah, I was starting to think, okay, maybe Alyssa won't be too bad, but I still just kind of feel like she's gonna play the Nicole Franzel team up with all the guys and let them do all the work game, which I have said repeatedly I am not a big fan of. Um, so okay, next up we have Derek X, and I do appreciate that Derek X is now in a little bit better of a position in the house, but I was saying the whole time that I'm worried about Derek X possibly getting nominated by Kyland because he's not officially in an alliance with him. And even the way that Kylan was kind of talking to him, like he was kind of cryptic with him, but like he cryptically implied that Derek X would be safe. but he didn't like go out and say it, and he was kind of it was kind of weird, but Derek X he still got to give him some more information. He said that at one point Frenchie was pressuring him to use the veto on Alyssa, and I've pointed out before like Derek X was getting pressure for all three options. He got pressure to use it on Kylan. He got pressure to use it on Alyssa. He got pressure to not use it at all. But he did what he thought he had to do for Kylan, and now Kylan's HOH. So that's. I was like, this should be a good spot for Derek X, but I don't know if Kylan's gonna be super loyal to the Slaughterhouse. Like maybe he just want to hedge his bets and keep his two alliances in the house, and try and let them take shots at each other while he just sits in the middle. That would have been a valid strategy, but it would have been pretty dirty for Derek X to go out like that, to get nominated like that, and yeah, go out because he probably would be. I feel like the first time Derek X is nominated and sitting on the block on eviction night, I think he honestly might go. But I mean, he's making progress. He's getting himself in a little bit better of a position in the house. And Kyland, like I said, he implied that Derek X was going to be okay, but he didn't say it outright. He didn't say it as concretely as I would have liked him to. So, next up is Christian. Now, Christian is hung up on the two rogue votes. And, I'm just like, this is Big Brother. People throw rogue votes just to cause panic because they know there will be people like Christian that will obsess over it and it will eat away at them and it will get them to target other people. Like at this point, everyone should know that rogue votes are done by people in comfortable positions that want others to get targeted. Like that's just how it works now. But anyway, Christian, he's still talking to Kyland. He's talking about the two rogue votes, and Christian actually suspects. I think he was the first one to suspect this that Derek F went rogue. I mean, I know Derek F told a few people, but I don't think he told Christian. So, like, the fact that Christian did kind of figure it out, um, yeah, I think Christian might be a little bit smarter than we give him credit for, and maybe he could be somewhat of a threat. I mean, he has 2 wins to his name so far. Estuary, hello, thanks for being here. Happy to have you. You're a you're a rather loyal follower of mine on Twitter, and don't think I haven't noticed, and don't think I don't appreciate it. So yeah, Christian suspects that Derek F went rogue, and I'm thinking, okay, he does have some good reads, and he and Kylan are talking about like if there is a specific mastermind. They don't want to say Frenchie outright, but Kylan is like, if there is a mastermind, should I nominate him and let him play in the veto, or do I just try to backdoor him? And Christian suggests, well, no, Christian says that he would let this mastermind play in the veto. And Kai agrees, and like he agrees in such a way that like he more or less lets it slip to Christian that he's going to nominate Frenchie, which he was trying to avoid, trying to avoid telling anybody what he was going to do. Okay, so next up we have Hannah, and this was just another bit of Frenchie's uh, game plan that is being outed. I mean, this is something Kylan already knew because Sarah Beth told him, but now Hannah comes to Kylan and backs up the fact that yes, Frenchie did start an all-female alliance called the French Kisses, and I feel like she made it clear that she didn't like a man starting an all-female alliance. Of course, it wasn't really an all-female alliance. It was 5 women and 1 man. The worst alliance name ever. Yeah, I'll admit, when I first heard it, I cringed hard, and I'm like, they're just doing this to stroke his ego. Like at first, I thought Frenchie came up with it himself, but then I'm like, nah, I think the women were just playing to his ego. I cringed also. Yep. Yep. And Hannah goes on to say that, like, she says she's loyal to Kyland and Ozza and Tiffany and Xavier and Derek F. So, like, that she named the whole cookout right there. And she's loyal to them, and I know they've got her back. I know that she was like kind of like on the periphery of the cookout, but like they were just kind of looking out for her. Like I wasn't even too sure how involved she was with it, but now I see that yeah she is with them. She wants the cookout to work, and so does America. I think. Ugh. There I go again, getting the hiccups while I'm streaming. Oh yeah, and she called Frenchie a loose cannon. That was the term she used. Loose cannon, and I agree. So next up is Xavier, and once again, he corroborates what Frenchie said to Whitney about him being done, saying like, "I'm done with Slaughterhouse," basically, and it's mm, it's so awesome to see just how done they all are with him. Like, I was hoping this would happen eventually, but I didn't think it would happen week 2. I didn't think it would happen on day 10. Like, yeah, when you're on a sinking ship, the first thing you do is you get on a lifeboat, and you know the SS Frenchie is sinking. And luckily, there was a nice 7-person lifeboat available, and the rest of the slaughterhouse just quickly boarded it. The live feeds have been intense with Frenchie. Yeah, he's saying so much. He's already contradicted himself a few times. Uh, well, we'll get to that eventually. But going back to Xavier, like the way he was talking, he implied he was more pro cookout than pro slaughterhouse, and that's good. That's what I want to hear. The cookout is the alliance that I am more interested in. And Kylan, he slips up again and basically says, yeah, he's gonna put up Frenchie and Brittany. And I did predict Brittany would go up because, like Derek X, Kylan is not in an official alliance with her. So, I was thinking like that could happen. I'm rooting for the Cookout Alliance. You too, Estuary? Yeah. Yeah, that's where the most interesting gameplay is coming from, to be honest. Like I know people are saying it's gonna be boring without Frenchie. Like, no, it's not. It's gonna be less chaotic, but it's not gonna be boring. Like, there will be strategy. There will be. I'm sure there will be other people. I feel like Brent was just waiting for his moment for Frenchie to be dethroned, and now Brent's just gonna try and run the alliance himself. But speaking of Brent, he is also hung up on the rogue votes, and I think Xavier also mentioned it. There's a lot of personalities this season. Yes, they all have personality. Well, most of them. But like there's enough people there that it's going to be interesting. And like there might even be some deep meaningful talks, and in a perfect world some people might learn a thing or two, but it's not a perfect world, so people are just going to say that the show is racist because the black people decided to form an alliance together. Like there's literally already so much of that. Like Big Brother Facebook, like that's got to be the worst place ever. Big Brother Twitter, it has some insanity, but like Big Brother Facebook just has to be gross, you know? Like, I mean, I already saw someone there. Someone shared a post from a Facebook group where they're like, "Can you imagine if all the white people got together one season and were like, we're not going to bring in any black people?" And I'm like, "That's what happens every year. Did you not watch last season? It was a majority alliance that was all white. Okay, they were all white, and they ran everything. All seven of them, they were the only seven people all season to win an HOH. All season. It was one of those seven people. It was painful. So yeah, they may not come outright and say we're just forming an all-white person alliance, but actions speak louder than words, and that's just how it went last season. And the season before that, Grateful and Undeniable. Who was the first one out from that? The Asian woman. They let her in, but she was the first one to go. Facebook BB is the worst. I stay away from the BB groups. Yeah, I have recently started moving away from Facebook in general. Like I will look at it occasionally because like that's my way of finding out where there are comedy shows around here because I'm still like trying to pursue my stand-up comedy dream. I haven't really gotten back to it yet since after the pandemic really died down. But that's the only reason I use Facebook anymore. I can't take it. It's the worst. It's the absolute worst. But I'm not deleting my Facebook account because I have said some pretty banger things over the years, and I don't want all of that to be gone. Yes. Going back to Brent, like Christian and like Xavier, he's hung up on the rogue votes, and Brent swears that no one in Slaughterhouse could have done them. And some people, they can remember everything that happens. Like they have notes, they have like a full catalog database of everything that is said. I can't remember everything with like a photographic memory, but I don't I don't remember for sure, but I feel like Brent knew that Derek F was going to go rogue just for the sake of it. I feel like he and Derek F talked about it because Brent and Derek F are the two people in the house that hate Derek X the most. And like Derek F knew that the rogue vote would get pinned on Derek X. But like, well, I mean, he thought it would, but it like it's been said, but I don't think that's like the prevailing opinion in the house. You know, like I do think Derek X is in a good spot in that regard. So, yeah, I think Brent was probably making that up, but after that, it's like it still seemed like he was probably going to be Frenchie's most loyal supporter, but no, he hinted that they don't need Frenchie; they can do without him, and he backed up what Whitney said that Frenchie said, "I'm done." Now this is where he really shot himself in the foot. He suggested Brittany started the all-girl alliance, even though Sarah Beth already told Kyland that it was Frenchie himself who started it. And I think by now Kyland even has the name. I'm not 100% sure, but I think he has the name French Kisses. I think he has heard it by now. So yeah, I think if Brent becomes a target this week, then it would be because of that. Because Kyland definitely just caught him in a lie. Well, I mean, I guess he can't prove it's a lie, but like he knows that Brent is wrong. But like if he thinks it's a lie, then he could target him for that. And Claire, I feel like he didn't talk to Kylan didn't talk to Claire too much, but she went to him and she's like, I think all the people who are aligned with Frenchie, I think they could throw him onto the bus. Like basically telling him that like they can take the shot and like get Frenchie out this week. And and yeah, I think that's true. Now, up next was Tiffany. And with this I wanted to make sure I got it perfectly, so I copied it right off the BB updates page and put it in my phone just so I made sure I read it verbatim. This is what she said to Kyland in their one on one. I'm going to ask questions, but I don't want you to answer them. Have you identified your position in this house? Have you identified the power, if any, in this house? And I loved hearing that. Like, Tiffany is just, she has such sage big brother advice. Like, she knows this show backwards and forwards. And she's trying to steer him. Actually, she's trying to steer him towards Brent and Whitney. Like Frenchie promised her safety, and he did keep her safe. So she does have a little bit of sympathy for him. Tiffany is a great player, one of my favorites this season. Me too. But she is my favorite this season at this point, at least. Maybe someone else will come along and I might put them at number one when I do the daily rankings on BigBrotherDaily.com, but she'll always be near the top, I think. I don't see myself getting tired of her anytime soon. But yeah, Tiffany was trying to steer Kylan towards Brent and Whitney as the nominees, but was like, Frenchie can be the backup. So, you know, I was thinking, a lot of people do listen to Tiffany, and Kylan is on the same team as her, so he has a vested interest in listening to her. But in the end, Kylan decides to nominate Frenchie and Brittany. And I knew that things were about to light up, and it's been wild already. I think she might want Brent out before Frenchie. Yeah, I think she would also, but I think she's on the same team as Kyle and she has a good relationship with him. I think I think she'll do. I think she'll get with the person he wants to get at. You know. Now here's the thing that I found interesting. Even after Kyland nominated Frenchie, it still seemed like Kyland had interest in keeping the slaughterhouse together. So I was like, is Brittany actually your target? And I'm like, that just seems like kind of a waste. But like he wants to Kylan wants to keep the slaughterhouse together, I think, with or without Frenchie. But I think now at this point he's kind of like keep it together without Frenchie because like Frenchie came up to him and he was like doing his thing, you know. He loves the sound of his voice. He can talk all night if he wants to. So Frenchie talks to Kylan, or talks at Kylan. Like talking to implies that it's a conversation. Talking at means that it's like one sided. And he's just vomiting his game plan on Kylan. But finally he leaves him alone, and then Kylan looks at the camera. He's like, "You believe this man?" Like he had a great face. Like when he was just looking at the camera, he has a great "I'm just over this" face. He's like, I can't really do it. I don't have the natural good looks that Kylan has, so I can't really emulate it too much. But yeah, uh, I think at this point, uh, Kylan wants Frenchie out more than anyone else. Now, Derek F talked to Kylan again, and this was the moment when I think everyone was just like, "We're officially done with Derek F." He said that he wants the minorities to succeed. Like he didn't just nominate a total. Well, he nominated two minorities last week, and a third was his target. He nominated a half black, half Mexican man and a Hispanic woman, and then his backdoor target was an Asian man. And it's like, Derek F., who are you trying to convince? Yourself? And Frenchie even brought this up again, you know? He said it to Kylant. He's like, I made sure that it wasn't a woman or a person of color that left week one. And it's like, barely. You can thank Derek X for making sure that didn't happen. Because if he hadn't used the veto, someone would have. A person of color would have left on his HOH week one. And I'm guessing it would have been Alyssa in that case. And like Kylan and Derek X were talking about it later, and they called him on the nonsense of what he was saying. Can't stand Derek F. He's just coasting in the game. Yeah, he he is not playing a game that I respect right now. You know, maybe he can get it together, but right now I'm not impressed. Oh, my air conditioner just came back on. It's it's set to go on and off like at a certain temperature. So yeah, I don't know if you can hear it right now or not, but just anyway, enough about my air conditioner. Um, yeah, Derek F. He's playing a pretty middle of the road game, but like he's too loyal. You don't hear the AC. Okay, that's good. He's too loyal to Frenchie. It's like, dude, you you. I think Derek F. might actually start to become a better player when Frenchie leaves. If Frenchie leaves, you know, he hasn't left yet, so you know we don't know until it's over. And it isn't All Stars where they all pre-gamed, so it wasn't predetermined. So yeah, hold on. Okay, sorry about that. Oh, great, now I'm gonna be orange for like the next 2 minutes. um, so yeah, Derek F was telling Kylan that Frenchie still wants the minorities to succeed even after everything, and and then Derek F says that he still wants Derek X out more than anything. Like that's still his number one target. I'm like, most of the other people have moved on by now. But you're the only one still clinging to it. And he wants Derek X out, and he wants to win the veto to try and make that happen. But Kylan looks at Derek F and says, "You're not winning the veto." Oh, that was kind of cold, but also really funny because he's not. I I mean, I don't want to sound mean, but like Derek F, he's just not going to be much of a physical threat this season. And I'm not just saying that because of, you know, his his size. Like he, Derek F is not a small gentleman, but like I've seen like people Derek F size that are like pretty fast and like they work out and they keep themselves in I don't want to say in shape, but like they keep themselves able to do stuff. And Derek F, he's just like sitting on the couch half the time. Like he's either lying down on a couch or in the backyard smoking cigarettes. And it's like you're not gonna be able to hang in some of these physical competitions. Like I'm sorry, you're just not. And Frenchie's still going around. He's making a whole lot of promises. Kyland and Claire, like he tried to saying some stuff to them, and Kylan and Claire were just like kind of like going along, like, okay, sure, and just like nodding politely. But they didn't believe him. And like after they got away from him, they were like, yeah, I don't believe him. You agree, not much of a physical threat. Yeah, Derek F. Yeah, definitely not. So fees go down for a while. It's another veto competition. Players were Kyland, Frenchie, and Brittany, obviously, and then the others were Alyssa, Claire, and Derek X. And I wanted to see Claire win just because I like Claire and I want to see her get a few more wins on her name. Like she won that first comp and became the team captain for her team. But wouldn't you know it, Derek X pulls out another veto win. Now, just like with Kylan winning HOH, I had a real roller coaster of emotions. Um, at first, I was very happy, and then I just started thinking, "Oh my God, he's making himself a target now." Like they're all going to see him as a physical threat now because he's won the first two vetoes. And the last time that happened was Sam in BB21, and he didn't even make jury. So yeah, Derek X is the veto king. Yes, he is. I mean, I love to see it. I think it's awesome. Just knowing how low on the totem pole Derek X was, and he is just like fighting for his place, and he's impressing me. Like I started off thinking he'd be one thing, and then I started to like be like, oh god, he's gonna be something that I'm not gonna enjoy. Hey, I'm not orange anymore. Yay! About time. Started off thinking he's gonna be like this cool nerdy guy. Then it turns out he's just like this fraternity dude bro, just trying to get all the guys together and gang up on all the women. But like once he realized where he was on the totem pole, like he really started adjusting his game accordingly. And now he's one of my favorites, and he's one of everybody's favorites. Like, he's like third on the daily poll now, which is awesome. Now, of course, with Derek X winning this veto, in addition to him admitting that he's worried that he's now going to be viewed as a threat because he has two veto wins. Of course, everyone's coming to him, trying to tell him what to do with it. And Ozza and Brittany. Oh, I wonder if Derek X will use the veto. I'm going to get to that. Um, Ozza and Brittany want him to use the veto on Brittany. And I mean, I understand why Brittany's saying that. And I guess I see with Ozza too, because then, like, that is two members of their team. Like, Ozza and Britt are on the same team with Frenchie and Derek F, the Jokers. But, like, honestly, with Ozza, the implication I was getting was that she wants someone, like she doesn't. I think she wants someone else that's not on her team to be nominated. And, you know, I get what Oz is trying to do. Like, that is kind of a rough situation to be in, having to decide between which one of your alliance members, one of your team members, your assigned team members, you have to vote out. So, like, I get that, but I feel like Ozza is kind of wanting someone else up to give Frenchie a better chance of survival. Like, I think Ozza wants Brittany and Frenchie to stay because she wants to keep the Jokers fully intact. So yeah, they're both like, please use the veto on Brittany. But Frenchie, he seems pretty resigned to his fate for now. Of course, that could change knowing him. Like, I feel like he's probably trying to do like some kind of mind game sympathy trick, and I don't think it's gonna work for him. I think Kylan wants him out, and you know, he was not very nice to Derek X. So I I definitely don't think Derek X will use the veto on Frenchie. And as far as Brittany, my gut is telling me he won't want to use it on her either. Like, I feel like if he does use it, he might be making too many waves in the house. Like, he's already, by his own admission, painted a bit of a target on his back by winning the first two vetoes. So, maybe just by not using it, it would be the best way to just kind of keep things, um, like, keep some more attention off of him. Like, if he doesn't use it, then the attention will be on Kylan since it's just his two nominees. It's hard to figure out Frenchie after his nomination. Yeah, he is all over the place. Personally, I think it is in Derek X's best interest to not use the veto. Just keep it the same. So I think uh, I think that's the move here for Derek X. Don't make yourself even more prominent in the house at this early stage, especially when there's still a few people that seem to have a vested interest in wanting him out. Tiffany's trying to get a pretty decent sized alliance together with involving Derek X. Like, I heard she wants her team, the Queens, the Kings, which is Christian, Alyssa, Xavier, and Sarah Beth, and Derek X. Like, that's the team she wants. And Christian and Alyssa, I'm not too sure about, but the rest of it, I'm there for. Okay, so I've gone through all the notes I had in my phone. So it's time for my favorite part, checking up on the updates that have happened since I put my phone down to do this stream. So let's uh let's check it out. All right, well, there's nothing on my timeline. Let's set up BB updates. I guess it is. It's 1:13 a.m. Eastern time now, so you know. Oh, there have been some updates. I'm gonna try and go in order as much as I can. Oh, Tiffany is talking to Derek X, trying to get the blame shifted back to Brent. Is it morning time where you live? Yeah, it's 1:14 in the morning here. I am getting tired, so I'm not going to be here too much longer. But yes, Tiffany is still trying to steer the target towards Brent. So, like, I think she wants Derek X to use it and Kylan to put up Brent. But I don't know how much Brent wants to nominate. I mean, how much Kylan wants to nominate Brent. I think he should want to nominate that. Nominate him, not that. You live on the West Coast? Yeah. It's 10:14 Big Brother time, too. Frenchie saying he had a gut feeling that he was going to be put up, and he was okay with it. So, yeah, he's back to playing the. I get it, playing the sympathy card. When she's talking to Whitney, and she's like, "It was never the plan. It wasn't until all this happened." So, yeah. Ah, Tiffany's telling Derek X. Frenchie had everybody wrapped around his finger, and he wanted Travis out, so that's why Travis left. Frenchie was the only one that felt threatened by Travis, which is interesting. Frenchie and Whitney are talking. I don't care. I hate them both. Whitney's saying that Frenchie blew her game up because he came out with it right in front of Sarah Beth and Hannah. Two people in his eyesight, not in the alliance. So yeah, she's not happy with him. It's going back and forth between Frenchie and Whitney and Tiffany and Derek X. Now Tiffany's saying Frenchie has a lot of the characteristics that he blames other people for having. Yes, he has been doing so much gaslighting throughout this game in a week and a half. She's calling him very smart, manipulative, and conniving. Yep, that checks out. Frenchie says the reason why he's talking to Wendy says the reason I took it out on you the most, and he's wrong for it, is because he likes her the most. When he's like, I didn't do anything. I don't know why you're angry at me. So yeah, I do think Whitney still wants the slaughterhouse to go on, but I think she wants it to go on without him. So yeah, I think I think Frenchie is just about done. You know, he talks about how he's going to beat Dan Giesling a lot. Like, well, you've got just about 36 more hours to pull off a Dan Giesling type of move where you don't go home. Like, where the veto gets used on you and you don't go home. And I don't want to say I'm not excited to see Frenchie go home because I am. Like, just watching it collapse so hard so fast is delicious. But in a previous stream, I made a wager. Like, a lot of people were saying at this point Frenchie's going to leave week 2, and I'm like, there's no way he's going to leave week 2. He has too many people on his side. And I was so confident. I said that if he did go second week, I would drink bacon soda. Soda that is flavored like bacon. I saw it once on Guy's Grocery Games, and I've been morbidly fascinated by it ever since. And I was so confident that Frenchie wouldn't be going next. And I'm like, he goes next. I will drink it on stream. And it's looking like I'm going to have to eat my words. That's the way it's going right now. And even like if he had won, Frenchie said if he won the veto, he was going to use it on Brittany. I'm like, I don't believe you for a second. Like, if he wins the veto, he's going to use it on himself, and then Brittany's going to break out her karate moves. Bacon soda sounds yucky. Yeah, that's a word for it. I'm sure it will be straight up foul, but I'm a man of my word, and I will absolutely drink all of it because I looked up how much it's going to cost to order it online. It's a $4 bottle. Like, are you kidding me? You're charging that much money for something that's definitely going to be disgusting? What is wrong with you? I'll I'll see if I can find it in a store around here somewhere. But yeah, I uh, I need to learn not to make wagers like that. All right, so it is now 1:20 a.m. local time for me. Uh, Thank you, Estuary, for being here. And if you're watching this on YouTube later on, thank you for watching. Um, these last 36 hours, they've been crazy. And again, it's because of Frenchie. This man is madness. And like, I know people are like, it's gonna be so boring when he's gone. But like, you really think all the people there want to be trapped in a house with this level of insanity? That's the hiccups again. You think they want to put up with that for 3 months? I don't think so. They're done with it already. And well, a lot of people are saying he'll be the first HOH to be evicted week 2. But that's light just went dim for a second. That's not technically true. Cody was the first HOH in BB19, and then he was the second person evicted. Well, the second person formally evicted, like after a live eviction. But he got to come back, so like that's where it's a little stickier. That's why some people don't think that counts as much. But it did happen. He was HOH week 1 and was evicted week 2. So yeah. And also, he should have stayed gone because he was a terrible person. And I still hate seeing people defend him and his girlfriend. Well, his wife now. They were both terrible. But that's a rant for another day. Um, yes, that will do it for me. It's been crazy, and it's been fun, and I look forward to seeing what the season's gonna be like without Frenchie. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.